Hello and welcome to another installment of my series Overcoming CRPS. In this series, I showcase one of my many clients who has overcome CRPS and is moving on to a more meaningful and fulfilling life. These videos are just one of the places that you can see testimonies, but there are testimonies all over my Facebook group as represented here by these individuals in these screenshots. I want to feature these clients here to help any of you who are skeptical or worried about this process and show you that it is possible to overcome this condition and move on. So I think the best way to approach this is to let my clients speak for themselves. So following this intro, you will see one of them talking about their journey through pain coaching. And if you don't know who I am yet, my name is Chase Teagarden, and I not only was diagnosed with CRPS over 10 years ago, and overcame the condition myself after suffering in pain for 4 years. But I then went on to become a doctor of physical therapy and pain specialist who has treated CRPS for his entire career, helping individuals from all around the world. Not only do I offer one-on-one pain coaching, like I did with this client in this video, but I also offer an 8-week online self-guided CRPS program that will walk you through a similar process to the process I went through with the client you are about to see. So thank you to the client featured in this video. Thank you to all of you for watching, and I look forward to many, many more testimonies to come. So take it away. Hello, hello.
Hi, Chase. How you
Hey, how's
doing?
it going?
Good. Yeah. How's Tokyo?
It's good. It's good.
Good.
Settled in. I've got a routine going, a gym I'm at, and a coffee shop I like. So
Oh, good. Good. So you've been checking the city out a lot?
not as much as I want to. When I first got here, I got like a weird cold. You might hear it in my voice. Um,
Okay.
but so yeah, I was feeling like extra fatigued and things like that. So I've been kind of just like recovering, but I think this weekend I'll be able to really start exploring more. So I'm excited for that.
Good. Good. Do you think it's part of maybe the air quality over there? Have you noticed it being any different?
Uh, I haven't, and the city itself, like I'm sure this makes a difference, but it's so clean, like on the streets,
Oh,
that it almost like you sometimes you can't tell inside from outside.
oh, that's
Um,
great.
yeah, and so it is a massive city, and so I'm sure there's a
Yeah.
air quality difference there, but I think maybe at the ground level, you know, because of how
Hmm.
cleanly it is, it might make a difference. But I know I think what happened was it happened right after I went to like a really busy area of
Mm.
Tokyo, and I think I might have just like caught something, whether it was COVID or something else. Um, but yeah, I was
Yeah.
just I finally like I woke up this morning and my throat wasn't or my nose wasn't all stuffed, so I think I'm turning the corner.
Well, good. Good. Then you can get out and explore that city. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm very
So I
excited.
can't even remember what my tasks were for last time, but I'm really doing pretty well. I mean,
Yeah.
my pain, my burning sensations have really declined. My foot doesn't seem to bother me at all right now. My surgical foot, I'm doing like 10,000 steps some days. I mean, not every day, but
Wow.
yeah, I did a
Wow.
6 mile bike ride last week. Yeah, I think when I talked to you was like the 6th or the 7th, the 6th of April, maybe. I think. Was it that long ago? I don't remember, but I think
Yeah, yeah,
I think I just found out that they'd found something in my MRI on my breast MRI, and it I had a biopsy done, and it turned out to be negative. So that was a huge load off of me. Yeah, and
yeah,
then I was starting to suffer with that high heart rate, and I do have hyperthyroidism, so Graves' disease is what I've been diagnosed with. I also have Hashimoto antibodies, so I could go from hyper to hypo pretty easily.
yeah,
But I'm on a beta blocker right now, so my heart rate is reduced. And I started on the medicine for the hyperthyroidism last week, so it hasn't really kicked in yet. So I feel I'm not sleeping very well because of it, and I feel anxiety. That's a symptom of it too.
yeah,
But I'm pretty confident that once the medicines kick in, I'll be okay with this. It's just one more
yeah,
thing to manage, and I'm disappointed about it, but it's a very common thing for women my age, so I'm
yeah,
just gonna go with it. And, he did say if the Hashimoto's didn't kick in, I could stay on this medicine for like a year and a half, and there's a chance it would go into remission. So that's what I'm hoping for, and just gonna. The only thing is, it's making me gain weight. These because I'm on this medicine now that's reducing my metabolism. So that part kind of sucks, and I can't really do a lot of exercise yet with my foot, but
Yeah.
it's fine. It's whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
I'll tell you what, well, firstly, I'll say sometimes the medication initially will have you make that weight gain. But then once your body kind of gets used to it being a part of life and routine,
mhm.
you'll level out and even sometimes lose the weight. So that'll be good. Um,
Yeah.
but then also, I just want to say I'm super proud of you. I mean, I can tell just from your demeanor today, like even when we first signed on, I was like, oh, she's doing good.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're very perceptive.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I hope that's the case. I hope my body levels out when I get used to it. But I almost think of it as a win in a weird way because when I had CRPS, I was just losing weight drastically
Mm,
and without trying. I was eating everything I shouldn't be eating, and I was losing weight. I was at one point down to like 114 pounds. So
mm.
now I'm up to about 125. So I'm really probably more at my normal weight, but I couldn't gain weight when I was in the thick of my CRPS. So
Yeah. Yeah, you and me both.
yes.
I was all I could eat was like protein bars, and I would eat one protein bar and one protein shake a day. That was like all
Yeah.
I
Well, at
could
least you're eating
stomach.
healthy, at least you're eating healthy stuff. I was like into well, sugar-free chocolate chips have been my real passion, but yeah, I did nothing tasted good, nothing. I just had no appetite. So I
Yeah,
think maybe it's probably the hyperthyroidism, but I also think my body is leaving the CRPS behind a little bit. So
absolutely.
yeah, I feel really good. And I think, one of I was so anxious about going back into the office after not being there for 3 months, but actually, I think that was really beneficial for me because I just got myself immersed in work and everything was fine.
Yeah.
Now I'm back home. We've been kicked out of our office now. Just Friday, we got kicked out of our office because we're remodeling it.
Uh,
So I'm out of our office from probably 4 to 6 weeks. So I'm working at home, but my team is at our production plant, which is only 7 miles from my house. So I'll probably go in there a lot. One, because we're working on this big project, but two, I think it's good for me. So I'm going to
sounds like it.
keep engaging with my team. Yeah. So tomorrow, though, I have to go down to our Davenport office and present in front of leadership. So a little anxiety over that, but
Yeah.
what are you going to do? Fire me, right?
Right, right. And I think you'll do
So
great.
that'll be
Yeah.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be fine. So yeah,
Well,
I go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm just super thrilled, and it doesn't surprise me. You're an intuitive person. You took action on the tasks that I was giving you, and I knew we'd get here, so it's
Yeah,
good.
I wasn't as confident as you were, but
Yeah,
I do. I mean, it's still there in the background, and it still comes and goes, like the burning in my hands. But it's not constant, and it's not stopping me from doing anything.
yeah,
So it's just part of me right now, and I do think the more I think about it that way, it'll just probably fade away. So I just
absolutely.
don't want it to take too much longer. But no, it's really not slowing me down. The only thing I
Um,
do notice is I've been, one of the things for me to do is to get out with my friends. And I've been doing a lot of that. Like for the last 2 weekends, we've been out both nights. And I, um, I'm fine for the most part, but then I get to a point where my nervous system just says, you got to go. You got to get out of here. You're done. It's our limit. And I go home. So, um, I don't know if you experienced that, like as you were coming back into activity with people, like back
sure.
into situations. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember going to college parties while my foot was still hurting, and I wouldn't
Uh-huh.
drink because I knew it would like the next day it would hurt more. Um,
Hmm.
and so yeah, I remember I can picture it right now. I'm sitting on like the arm of a couch, uh, and I was at this like apartment party, and I basically just like Irish exit because I was like I gotta go,
Yeah, it's
but like
just
it would be like way early, like half the time of normal. Um,
mhm.
but yeah, you part of that's okay because there's like an intuition that you've gained there as well. And so, ever since I think I exit social occasions earlier, But I think I do it because I'm aware of what I need more,
Okay.
so
So
it can be a
still,
good thing.
yeah, but so still to this day, you exit early, like
Yeah, I would
it.
say I still do, but it's not because I'm overwhelmed or anything like that. It's because I know that if I leave at this time, I'll just feel better generally. There's a certain point at a social event where you're only staying there for the other people,
Yeah, yeah,
and truth is they don't really care that much.
right, right. I'm the same way. I haven't really drank anything in probably, I don't know, a year. So I tried. The first time I went out with my friends, the first time I went out, I had a beer and it was okay. I don't miss it. And then
Right.
last night I had two and I felt fine, but I'm like you, I'd just rather not too
Right.
much because it disrupts my sleep. Um, but I think last night people were getting really loud and it was like 10 o'clock and I was like, we're, I'm just, there's nothing here anymore. I'm just listening to people tell stupid stories. So I'm going home.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it just hit my limit. And I feel like it's like comes on pretty suddenly because I'll be fine. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I gotta go. I do an Irish goodbye and I'm out of there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
The other
social
day,
battery runs out.
yeah, that's what it was. It really does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe that's age too. I mean, I'm almost
Well,
60, so maybe part of it.
I'll tell you what, I'm 34 and you me in there until 10 o'clock. I was like, man, I'm out of there by 9:15.
Well, that makes me feel better. My husband, on the other hand, is 65 and he could go all night still. And so,
What a
um,
maniac.
yeah, that's exactly what he is. So we had another thing that's been better is we had a little argument last night. Like I was there and he had left to go put our daughter's dogs away, but he never
Yeah.
came back and he never told me where he was. So I was starting to get angsty and ready to go, but I didn't have a car and he wasn't answering his phone. So I was a little frustrated by it. But the good thing about it is we worked through it without just stomping away mad, like there was a lot of emotion there, but we worked through it to the end. So I'm not carrying it around anymore. So I think
I
that was
love
a
that.
really good, yeah, I think that was a really good win for us. Like we're learning how to communicate more and he's being more sensitive to my needs. Like I think he finally understood that being social like that was hard for me at that moment. And he knows he probably needs to be more attentive going forward. Like, because I can't stay out as late as he can. And I do get more disrupted when I'm in those loud environments. So yeah,
Yeah.
so I think it was really good because although it sucked when we were having this fight, right? But we worked through it to a complete end and it's over. So that was
Yeah.
good.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. I think that these you can even reframe it as like a discussion, because
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
the objective ultimately is that both of you win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the final objective. And so I love that's making a difference. Do you think that that is from exploring emotions more or reading the books or what do you think it was?
Yeah. I think it's from all of that. It's exploring the emotions more. It's talking about, it's learning how to, what was that book you gave me? I can't remember the name of it, but
The
it's
nonviolent
about
communication.
conversation. Yeah. Negative conversations or something. I don't remember,
Oh,
but
oh yeah, crucial conversations, maybe.
crazy conversation. Yeah. So that was helpful. And just, knowing myself more, like I know I can't carry and stuff down those hard emotions anymore. I can't
Yeah.
carry them around with me because they're not beneficial. Um, if I stuff them down, they're going to come out some way. So I think just that, and the both of us are maybe have a better understanding of each other and what's going on, and working together more. So yeah, so I think that was a win too for us.
Yeah. Awesome. So we're if we're tallying, we've got uh back to work. Well, we had the test run and that's going good. Um,
Yeah.
we've got function is going much better. Our social relationships are improved, and then communication in the marriage is going better.
Yeah. Yeah. Like today has been it's just more relaxing, right? I'm more calm. Maybe it's the beta blockers I'm on, but I don't think so. But today we've just been out in the yard. It's 70 degrees here. It's beautiful. And so we've just been out in the yard washing cars together and listening to music. And one of our daughters are over and watching the dogs play. So it's just been a really relaxing day. And
I love
I'm
that.
pretty The other thing that's going on is my project. That work is supposed to be done on August 1st, this one that's been lasting for 2 years. So it's going to start getting really intense with that. But I have to remind myself that I'm not alone in it. Like it's not fall, it doesn't fall on me if it doesn't work. So takes some pressure off. But they've already pushed it back to September. So I have an extra month to get stuff ready and be prepared. But I tell you what, I don't want it to go on much longer than September. It's just been, it's a drag to work on the same project for 2.5 years. I just want it to be completed to move on to something else. So
Yeah.
that's kind of hanging out there. If I can get through that without a major flare, I'd say I was healed.
I
I think
think,
so, because that's
yeah.
going to be
I mean,
hard.
I think you'll make it. And uh, from there, with that, my question then to you is, we have two options with how well you're doing. We can meet next week as normal, and that's our last scheduled session. Or what I can do
Okay.
is I can take and I can push it out, 3 weeks or a month, and we can have a
Yeah.
reserve session, for that if you'd like.
I I appreciate that. That might be good, just knowing that if something comes up and I flare up or something, that I have that option to still meet with you. So I like that opportunity, Chase. I think that would be really just kind of knowing I have that little support right there if I need it.
Yeah, in your back pocket, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. I will move the next week, which is supposed to be the 4th, May 4th.
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to move that straight to June 1st.
Okay.
Okay, and
Yeah.
then that'll give you a reserve session there. And then really, the only assignment I'm putting forward for you in the next month is continue to live life, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think
That
that,
feels good. I do I really feel like I'm really confident that this is going to go away and that I'm going to be able to look back on this time and realize what I've learned from it, and continue to practice all the things that I have learned from it. But there was a time where I wasn't confident it was going to fully go away. And
yeah.
I really feel like it will now. Like at some point, I don't know when, but I believe it will. So,
Well,
yeah.
that makes me so happy, and because, you're gonna when it does, you're gonna sit on the outside of it, and you're going to say, man, what a trip, because, when you're deep in the thick of it, it is so hard to see what it is for what it really is. Um,
Yeah.
what it really is it's a mind trip more than anything because of what we're told about it, what we read about it. But as soon as we start getting back to life and correcting some of the things that are causing difficulty, suddenly the pain is gone, and
Yeah.
you really do, you will forget about it. And I'll do a numbers experiment for you, which I like to do with people. If you Google CRPS, it says every year 200,000 people are diagnosed, right?
Right.
That's a certain amount of people, right? And then the biggest group, I'm in about 10 on Facebook, but a lot of people are in multiple groups. The biggest
Hmm.
CRPS group has about 20,000 people. So that is 1/10. So that's already only 10%, right? But what you
Yeah.
have to remember is it's 200,000 people a year. So if we go, these groups have probably been around 10 years.
Yeah.
So that's 2 million people, and there's only 20,000 people in a group. So what that
Yeah.
means is 99%, if you really like, I'm probably doing the percentage wrong, but if you break it down, it's
Hmm.
a it's a massive amount of people that just move on with their life.
Yeah. Or they don't join any groups,
Right, right.
or they're still suffering without any support. But you're right. It's probably still a very small group of people that really have to live with this forever. Like or at least maybe they still have it, but they've moved on with their life and they've left the group. Yeah, for
Yeah, and they
sure.
just and they just maybe it's like subtle around like very stressful times in life, it shows up. They
Mhm.
never made the connection, but they're still living.
Yeah. Yeah. It's comforting, um,
Yeah.
because when you first have this, you have no idea. You have no idea what's going on. And all there is fear and pain. And it's just this cycle. Yeah.
It absolutely
It's
is. Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
run into a local physical therapist. So she lives in our town, and I'm the place I go to physical therapy for my foot right now. She's working there, and it came up, and she's told me that she's had a couple CRPS patients, mostly children, and
Yeah.
she's worked through it with them. So I was excited to know that she had the experience with it, and she just did it herself. Like she had this girl who wouldn't move her arm. I think she had a dislocation, but then would never move it, and so she worked her through it, and she found, and she just didn't want to not be able to help this person, so she started researching and trying to figure out what she could do for her. In that case, it
Yeah.
was kind of a little bit of tough love because this girl had been coddled so much by her family and stuff. She just needed someone to help push her to get started. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was just, I had no idea that she had experience with this. You feel like you're all alone, like you don't know anybody who has experienced it. So I was surprised to run into her. But I told her about you. I said, if you ever come across it again, I can give you a resource. So
Yeah. Yeah. If I'd love to, eventually when I'm back from Japan, I can send you the, my brochures and you can share them with her if
yeah,
you want to.
yeah, I would definitely take them to my. I'm sure my people at my physical therapy place would really appreciate them. So yeah,
Awesome.
that's a great
Plan
idea.
on it.
Yeah,
Well, sweet. Yeah, you're right. It's one of those things that is, especially in pediatrics, is a lot more common than you think. And what you said there is exactly right. It is a little bit of tough love, but and it's more so being someone the individual can trust and guiding them back to whether it's moving the limb or just living living again. Um,
yeah, yeah,
that's really what it
yeah. I think
takes.
just getting some real comfort in knowing that this can get better and that they've got someone in their court that's going to help them find a path. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I heard I heard Cheryl's voice when I heard your testimony from Cheryl. Once I heard her voice, I realized who she was right away because she was on some of your initial Zooms. Do you remember
yeah,
that when we were in this? She always had a ton of questions. So I'm really glad to hear that she's doing better. But
yeah,
she's kind of funny.
yeah.
A little
She's
British
awesome.
accent.
I know
Yeah.
she's the best. I'm excited, really excited for her. She doesn't on the first we'll do like a testimony with like I did with her with you. Um,
Mhm.
and we'll talk about it. But I loved one of my favorite questions in that is, do you fear CRPS like you used to? And hearing people say no to that is so nice. Uh,
Yeah.
and she's like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'll be fine.
Yeah. And she's had it for quite a while, though, hasn't she? Been dealing with it?
8 years,
Like,
yeah,
wow. Wow.
yeah.
That's incredible. That's fabulous.
And
Yeah, I feel fortunate too that I've really only been dealing with the terrible symptoms for a year. It was this time in April when I woke up at night with my foot on fire. Even though it kind of started back in October, that was just kind of warm foot and I didn't know what it was. And then it just turned to fire that night. And that's when the whole, you know, scary train ride started. So
yeah,
I'm ready to get off the train. Yeah.
yeah. I'm glad. Welcome back. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you. I'm writing a book this year about CRPS.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna send you
that's
like the
fabulous.
yeah. I'm excited about it. It's gonna be a really real challenge. But I'm gonna send you in the summary. I'm gonna send you just like a couple paragraphs I have written. Um,
Okay.
and just kind of it I think feel like it encapsulates a little bit of what we've talked about, and I think it'll be a good thing maybe to reflect back on, uh, if there ever is a day where you feel like things are a little more spicy,
Okay.
remembering
Yeah.
some of the core things we spoke about. I think they're illustrated in those paragraphs.
So that'll be nice to have in my back pocket also.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that made me think about your T-shirt is lovely. I'm really happy that you sent me a T-shirt. But what is the symbol on the side? Is that Chinese? Is that a
It's
Chinese
it's
symbol or what?
it's it's a
Wait.
Chinese and Japanese actually, because the Japanese take a
Okay.
lot from. So I guess Chinese originally, but it means pain,
Oh, okay.
and I like it because essentially we're owning it instead of it owning us. We're fully
Yeah.
embracing it. Um,
Yeah.
I think that pain is a great teacher. Every time I feel physical pain, I ask myself, what am I dealing with? What's going
Mm-hmm.
on with me? And more often than not, it's like I need to have a conversation with someone. I need to set a
Yeah.
boundary for myself. And so I very much value pain now. I see it as
Yeah.
something really important.
I don't think I'm quite to that point yet. I mean, I do value this, and I think it has very much helped me, and I'll never be the same again.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to come back. So
Right.
I'm not looking forward to more pain. But and I mean, it's still there. My hands turn colors sometimes, but it doesn't last all day. It comes and goes,
Yeah.
and I just think in more time it'll get better. So
Yeah. Just always when you notice it, whether it's hand things, whether it's a migraine headache or low back pain, uh, when you notice it, ask yourself what you're feeling. And then by extension of that, practice it with others. If your husband starts complaining about his back hurting or one of your kids,
yeah,
um, examine emotionally what's going on. Like ask them like, hey, what are you dealing with? You'd be
yeah.
surprised. Once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it.
Hmm. I think it's really sad that we don't teach our kids in school more about emotions. I think I mean, our school is just starting it, but I was like, I wish I would have had all of this when I was in high school and been better equipped for adulthood.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Me too.
they don't really teach a lot of that at all. So,
They don't. All we
but
can do is teach our kids and our grandkids and
yeah,
hope
yeah,
hope it starts a wave.
I agree. I'm excited. My second daughter is talking about having a baby. So, not that anything's happening yet, but she's at least getting her head around it that they're at a point where they're ready to. So, we'll see. We'll see when it happens. But that's kind of one of the things I've been thinking about as I visualize myself healthy and well and free of pain and vibrant is that I may be toting around a little baby here pretty soon. So in the next couple of years,
That's
I
awesome.
want to be healthy and strong to be able to play with this little baby. So and take it places. And she's already asked me if I'd put a baby seat back on my bike. So I want to be able to give that baby rides. I put my kids on the back of my bike forever. So um, she remembers that. So I hope I'm strong enough to do that when I finally do have a grandchild. So
Yeah. You will
it'll be
be.
good.
You will be for sure. That brings me a lot of joy because I was only 22 at the time and I didn't even have a girlfriend. But I remember when I was dealing with the pain, one of the recurring thoughts I would have is how am I going to hold my son? Like I
Yeah,
used to always think about that. And so to hear you say that makes me really happy.
the same thing. Yeah, we both wanted to get strong for those future babies. Do you have any on the way, Chase?
I don't, hopefully.
Okay. You're still young. You're very young. So
Yeah.
plenty of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, none on
But
the way, but maybe I'll meet someone in Japan. Who knows what'll happen.
oh yeah, right,
But
right.
yeah,
That would be
I
exciting.
yeah, I'm really enjoying it here and I'm proud of you. I want to reiterate it. I've I've moved the appointment already over to the first.
Okay.
So that'll be there. You can message me, anytime. And then later today, my day, which will be like in the middle of the night, your night, I'll I'll send you
Are you
what's
adjusting
that?
to that? Okay. Are you adjusting to that? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I'm getting used to it. I've got all of you guys set up so that it's afternoon there, but it's morning here. Um,
Okay.
and so it's like 6:30 a.m. right now. Um,
Okay.
so I finish my day by like 11, which is really nice.
Oh yeah, yeah. But you're still probably getting up pretty early to have
Yeah.
these meetings.
Yeah, I get up pretty early. Some days I start at 4, but I'm a morning person anyways. And so like
Okay.
4 is not that much earlier than I was normally getting up in the States.
Oh, well, good. Okay.
Yeah, so it makes it easy. And
Good. Well, I'm sorry, I cut you off. You said you changed the meeting and then you were sending me something.
oh yeah, I'm gonna send you the summary. I'll send you it later today, which you'll be asleep, but
Yeah.
it's really just gonna say keep living life, and then it'll have the passage from my book as a reference.
Okay. I'll look for that tomorrow uh,
Yeah.
morning. So yeah.
In the book, I'm going to it's basically going to be structured in a way that is uh, a philosopher or a medical doctor's or a psychologist, take on physical pain manifesting due to emotion. And it's gonna be one individual like that, and then one of my clients, and then one individual,
Oh,
and then one of my clients, like to illustrate
okay.
it. Um, so when the time comes, if you're open to it, I don't know if I'll use it yet, and I would change the name. Um,
Mhm.
but I might be prone to use some client stories. So when the time comes, I'll reach out with documents. But okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
I would be happy to help somebody else get through this. I mean, it's something I never knew anything about, and it was so overwhelming at times that and scary that if my story can help somebody, I'd be happy to share it. So, just like you,
Awesome.
you're helping a lot of people because of your experience. So,
Yeah. Well, you're
please.
I've got a few of your videos in my online course, like
Oh, do
two of
you?
those.
I haven't been through module 7 yet. I probably should get out there.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
probably be shocking to me to see how bad of shape I was in back then. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
you'll I'm uploading some of them this week, and this one will probably be module 8 because people like to see people break free at the very
Yeah.
end. Um
Okay.
so yeah, you'll see yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Ugh. I should probably wear makeup to these sometime if I knew
Ah,
I was seen by a lot of people. Maybe on the first, I'll be sure to put makeup on.
yeah,
I just like to wear makeup on the weekends, so but
yeah.
I don't care. It's me. This is who I am.
It's you, and you're doing better. And so I'll plan to see you on the first, and then we'll do the testimony at that time.
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, I can't believe I'm to the end. And honestly, when I first signed up with you, I didn't think 8 weeks would be enough. Like that's not going to be enough to get me through this. But I didn't really want to spend any more money at that time, just
Yeah.
to see how it goes. But it has been. I mean, it's well, we had a little break in there from your move, but I mean, I didn't expect to, I guess what I'm trying to say is I didn't expect to be fully like to this far into my recovery with just 8 weeks. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of shocked by that, but happy, very happy.
Yeah. Me
Yeah.
too. Me too.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by you because of your openness to some of the ideas early on. And I think that really served you. So I think that's why we are where we are now. And I think that's great.
Yeah. I really think your guidance of writing the letter to the people that I was carrying around a lot of repressed emotions was like my turning point. I think that helped me realize that I was carrying all that, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was carrying all that. So yeah, I
Yeah.
also think I'm seeing another therapist weekly, and he's a somatic and polyvagal therapist.
Mm.
And we don't even really talk about my CRPS, but I think he's really helping me um, just know what I'm feeling in my body and what it means and what my body's telling me. So to respond to it and take care of it. So
Yeah.
good things and bad things. So I think he's been really helpful as well.
I don't
But
know
I
if
could have
I,
done it. So
well, thank you. And kudos to him too, because that I like that style of therapy as well. Um,
yeah.
so it's been a team effort in certain ways. And I don't know if I ever said this, but I want to say it one more time. You've heard of the saying about anger being a hot stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what was it? What is it that burns occasionally?
My hands. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I've probably said that before, but it brings me a lot of joy to point out that connection. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think writing the letters is a form of letting go of the stones.
Yeah,
Um,
you're right. You're right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's good. I mean, I think I found you at the right time. And Eli's just kind of icing on the cake for me, but I couldn't have done it without you guys. So I'm just happy to be at this point,
Well,
and I'm hoping I stay here even through all the stress of this next project of finishing up this project. So
yeah, I think you will, and I'll be excited to check in with you uh, on the first. And you know what? I might just I'll think about it, but I might just make this your testimony. We'll see after the first, because this is
okay.
very pure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some
Yeah. I just
people
don't
are
have any
like that.
makeup on, but that's okay.
That's okay. You're looking great. You were when I saw you in the beginning, I was like, she's doing good. She's glowing over there. So
Yeah, you noticed when I first got on the call today, didn't you? Yeah. No, I
yeah,
am. I truly am I'm feeling more like me. I'm feeling like I'm getting my confidence back and life's going to be good.
yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. Well, I'll see you in a little over a month, and then we'll set you free.
Sounds great. Yeah. I am free. That's what it feels like.
Yeah,
Very much free. Like I've been shopping. I've been, like I said, riding my bike 6 miles back to work in meetings. Yeah, it feels good. So, all
fantastic.
right. Well, you take care. Okay. And
Yeah,
enjoy Tokyo. And I'll talk to you in a little bit over a month.
sounds good, Rochelle. Have a good rest
Okay.
of your Sunday.
Yeah. Bye, Chase.
All right, bye bye.